Why we have failed to work in the first houses as housemates. I'm a housemaid in Saudi Arabia. This is Merciful 21. Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate your love and support. Yes. In today's video, I want to share with you why we have failed to work in the first houses. Yet sometimes these people, they also pay a lot of money at the offices to get us. But when we reach there, we really disappoint them somehow, somewhere. When I reached in this is my second house also. This is not my first house, so I also failed to work in the first house. So I disappointed my sponsor somehow, somewhere. When I reached in the first house, I found another woman working there. She was from XX country. I won't mention the country, but when I shared like in the group and I'm like, I found another lady, she's from XX country, and this is how I was told by my fellow housemates. You girl, how are you going to work there? How are you going to, you can't work with someone else and you finish your contract. They tried to give some even evidences from 80s, from those ones who worked in 80s. So to satisfy me that I cannot even dare try to work with another fellow housemaid in one house. But when I came in this house, in this second house, so I found two ladies still. So when I told them that even in this house has got two ladies, oh, okay, it was like frying from the frying pan and you're just falling into the fire itself. So they were like, they started like still giving some evidences on how I'm not going to manage working with other housemates in the same house. But still I sat, I myself, and I was like, I ran out of the house, and am I going to run again? So this is what I did. I had to exit the group because I saw some groups, they do mislead us and we end up falling into fire. You are on a frying pan. The fire maybe is not yet in the frying pan, but you're trying to save yourself. You end up falling into the fire itself. So I had to exit the group. I worked with these ladies and I was okay with them. I didn't find any problem. Secondly, why we have failed to work in the first houses, it's fear. Fear can lead you out of that house you are in. Sometimes we fear to talk to our bosses. If you know that in Africa we eat 3 times in a day or 2 times in a day. If you're lucky, 3 times in a day. But when we reach this side, we fear even to ask that, please, we want some food, or please, can we get what to eat? Please, maybe I have ulcers, I want to eat in time. You know, we fear to talk to these people because we know they are bad. It is something that people told us, and no one can erase no one can erase that out of our minds. We know that these people are bad. We came knowing that, but in actual sense they are not. It is sometimes some people, they can put your mind somewhere and it is hard for you to make a U-turn, you know, because you're somewhere stranded or stagnant. You can't leave that, or you can't change what someone has told you. So since we know we can't talk with them, it is that fear in us. Even if you go and talk to them, there is nothing that can change. But yet they are also human beings like us. if you decide to go and talk to them in person, they can also listen. You tell them the truth that for me, I can't manage to eat once in a day, because for them, most of them, they eat once in a day. If they eat breakfast, then they will wait for the lunch, and that is it. Maybe in the evening they take some tea, and that is all. So they are used to that. If you can't manage to their culture, you can also talk to them, and you create your way out of on how you create your own way, and you make your way easy than keeping quiet. When I reached in this house, I found housemaids are eating 3 times in a day. So I was also so surprised. So I was like, oh, really? Okay. Then talk to them. Some people, we do fear to talk to our bosses, and we end up failing to work in those houses because we fear them. Not because, but we were told that they can't listen, yet in actual sense, they do listen. Thirdly, we have failed to trust in God. Instead, we trust in the non-living things. We think they can fight for us, Instead of packing the word of God, some people have decided to pack their jujus into these Arab houses because they think those jujus are going to fight for them. Imagine carrying some witchcraft and you come to practice such in someone's house, and you think it is going to fight for you. You've forgotten there is a God that these people, they do worship. They worship in Allah 5 times a day. And for you, you are on a non-living thing. It's what you're worshiping. It's what you're telling to fight for you. Forgetting that these people, they are always on their knees, praying whatever harm is coming towards them, So you end up your juju backfiring, and you end up going out of those houses. When I was coming, I packed my small Bible. That is the word of God. But some people, last time, was it yesterday, I had a testimony, a certain lady who went to Oman to work, and she went with a juju. She was from a certain country. She went with the juju. But afterwards, she realized that she wasted her time in things that were not going to help her at all. In things that was, sometimes we waste our time into things that are not useful to us. But we are forgetting that there is a living God on this planet Earth who can fight for us than what we think. So how I wish we can open up our minds and we be straightforward, we be genuine in whatever we are doing. If you don't want other people to do bad things, why would we decide to do them to other people? Imagine carrying something that you're coming to practice into someone's house. So sometimes they end up disappointing us, by the way. I'm a believer. I repeat this. I believe in God, and I thank God that I'm also a believer. And I found a family that believes in God. This has pushed me far to where I am. Thank you so much for listening. And if you know any other reason as to why some ladies have failed to work in the first houses or to work in some houses, please comment in the comment section. We are here to learn. We are here to help one another.